Yeah, listen, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, you go back, the last time even that he won a playoff game was 2016 with the Packers. He hasn't won yet with the Dallas Cowboys. We look at the track record. It's been 30 long years for Dallas as well, making a deep, deep run. Um, Defense worries me a little bit if I'm a Cowboys fan. Give up 34 to the Jags and Philly. You turn around, beat the Titans, and then they had a bad loss against Washington. Where are you right now with the quarterback? Where are you, confidence level with Dak Prescott? Because a lot of picks, a lot of bad decisions. Chrystal, it's almost like he's kind of regressed, which you wouldn't expect that from a guy that's been around as long as he has.
Yeah, I am very concerned about Dak Prescott because over the last few weeks, I've been watching the games wondering what's going on. And so that kind of leads me to thinking about something that I want to do some research in actually while I'm here in grad school. And it's about team psychology. There's something about the Dallas Cowboys because they have one of the most talented rosters, and they've had one of the most talented rosters for a number of years with Dak Prescott, with Zeke, with the members of the offensive line. And now we have Micah and Leighton Vander Esch. So it's not about pieces. Sure, there are gaps. Every team has gaps in talent, sure, in some areas and some positions. But as a whole, the Dallas Cowboys have always had a team with the talent. It's not a question of talent. It can be a question of coaching, right? For a long time, Jason Garrett and his shortcomings. Now, Mike McCarthy, you think about time management, the issues that he's had over the couple of years that he's coached the Cowboys. But I think bigger, right? I think about the psychology of this team. And I think that because of the inconsistent play, we see Dak, yes, he was hurt for the first few weeks of the season, but then he comes out, after his injury and he's gunslinging and he's playing well. But then the whole month of December going into January, something's happening, right? And it's not just Dak, right? Something's happening across this team that you've seen last season against the 49ers. Something happened, and it's not just a play on the field. I feel like there's something about team psychology and team culture that the winning teams have, the Super Bowl teams have, and they're able to hold on to that throughout a Super Bowl run. And some teams will sort of lose it and they can't regain it once they get into the playoffs.
It's an excellent dynamic and point you bring up, because I typically call it that mental toughness. You either have it with franchises, and we always joke the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl in July, but they'll spit the bit come the playoff time, right? As well as they play. And you're right, the talent there, every team in the NFL is flawed, but you look at some of these teams that make their deep runs, they're mentally tough, they're mentally strong, they overcome adversity. Hell, look what's going on with San Francisco. This is their third quarterback they're on right now. So, you're right. It's all about the coaching, and is the message being heard. I think this team right now is leaking a ton of oil. Now, I'm not going to buy into this. Here you go, Tom Brady, swan song. Forget about Aaron Rodgers. It's your playoffs. You're, connected a couple times with Mike Evans here. I think Tampa Bay, because of Brady, will limit mistakes, right? Dallas, because of Dak and the head coach, who's just horrible when it comes to time management, will make that backbreaking mistake. So talent alone in this game, to me, as you alluded to, it's not enough. And I don't know if it's sentiment, but I have a feeling Dallas is going to be in a dogfight against a team they should beat. They should beat Tampa Bay.
They should have beaten Washington. They should have beaten Jacksonville. Yeah. It should not have been a tough game against the Texans. You're making a good point. Like, the Cowboys are struggling against teams that they absolutely should be blowing out, and that they had blown out just going back a few weeks to November. So, but I don't put all of my concerns on Dak Prescott and the interceptions, because the Cowboys have won games where he's thrown interceptions. That hasn't been the only problem. Where I feel confident and assured is when he has those interceptions early in the game. Get the interception out the way. Okay, boom, he got his interception. He's going to have one.
Yeah.
Knock it out, get it out. But I think the bigger issue with the Dallas Cowboys is the issues along the offensive line. Now, granted, they are going to get the center back, Tyler Biadasz, back along that offensive line. The issues along the offensive line are affecting the run game. And the Cowboys have ran under 100 yards 4 times this season, and it was 2 just this past couple of weeks against Tennessee and Washington. So the Cowboys have to get that run game down, get that comfortable. And that's the thing. I've accepted the fact that Dak is no Tom Brady, right? Dak is no Patrick Mahomes. Dak is one of those quarterbacks that's going to need a lot of help. Everything's going to have to fit perfectly. All the things, the weather has to be great. All these things have to work great for Dak. And I'm fine with that as long as it leads to wins. But the other members of the team or the special teams last week with Washington, the Cowboys can't have those types of breakdowns when everything has to work so perfectly for Dak.
Yeah. And you're right. Special teams huge come playoff time. That can make or break or destroy season. As far as the ground game, I mean, look, we always talk, feed Elliott, but Pollard to me is that X factor. And on defense, look, I don't know how much Parsons will weigh in the fact where he feels he's slighted, but he is a flat out game wrecker. So you get Tampa Bay in 3rd and long. Brady doesn't even like to get hit. Flip the field, field position. It's going to be a 4th quarter game. But man, I'm telling you, it would really be something if they lose this game and they play well. They lose this game because of clock management and time management. And I don't care what Jerry Jones.
I just have flashbacks to last season.
Yeah, but listen, I don't care what Jerry Jones says. Tuesday by 8 a.m. before his coffee's, starting to warm up a little bit, McCarthy's going to be out of a job. So